Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Golden Woods. It's a 4x6, and I painted this last week. Pretty sure it was last week. Real happy with it. I definitely want to paint it larger. I really like the reference photo that I came up with. I'm I'm not sure if, well, I'm really stoked with this painting, but I had more that I wanted to do, and I was obviously limited somewhat by the size, so yeah, you might see it again. So the board we're painting on, it's a bit of MDF, and I think it was like a burnt sienna tone, which was too red for what I wanted to do, so I just grabbed some acrylic paint and kind of rubbed it on there. That's all in the members area. I'm pretty sure I showed that process, and that's really handy. I think more and more the color that you're starting on is really something that's. I mean, let's face it, a painter that knows what they're doing could make a painting on any color, but it can give you a big boost. It can really being able to leave lots of that color peeking around things means you can be a lot freer with your brushwork. And let's face it, being free with your brushwork, that's something I'm really interested in more and more, and simplifying forms and shapes as well. I'm not the thing with me is like I always I always feel like I'm somewhat constrained by my shapes. I'm trying to do one thing, but it often ends up looking like something else. And I've been, if you feel that way too, well, welcome to being an artist, because I've been a professional artist for, I don't know, I haven't even, long time, over 20 something years. If you can count the fine art thing as being a professional, I do. I've always approached it as a professional. So the color we're working over this kind of ochre tone with is some burnt umber. Yeah, it looks like I've juiced it up with something, not real sure what. Yeah, it could just be straight up burnt umber. My base is usually some sort of burnt umber. Today, though, is quite exciting. This is going to be a little rambly. It's a middle of the week video. I know it's a little late for the middle of the week, but we'll hit you with one on Sunday again, too. So I want to talk a bit about. I've been modifying these board colors a lot, and when I find that I'm constantly doing something, like in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've turned all my boards into some kind of variation of a raw umber. I'm gonna have a little sip of tea here. Sorry. So what I did today was I went down to the our big box hardware store. They got a paint area. They've got 3 different brands with a whole wall full of paint chips. I just grabbed one that I thought looked like a nice. It was a great name. It was called Dirt. Right, so I grabbed that and I did some board prep with that. So you're going to be seeing quite a bit of the dirt board prep color coming up. And we'll talk some more on the other side of this ad for the book coming up. And we've been shipping out the books. It's been quite steady, and I'm thrilled about that. We got a couple going out tomorrow. And thanks so much for the support. I think you will really dig the book and get a lot from it. It is $60 US, and that includes international shipping. It still does. We'll see. That's very, very expensive. It cost me more for that than it cost me to print the book. So, but that's the byproduct of living out here in New Zealand, and there's a lot of benefits too. It's pretty beautiful, nice. Can't complain. Decently. Anyway, we're coming in with the color now, and I like to have a good sort of architecture with the drawing / underpainting, and I thought this looked pretty good. I did vary this quite a lot from the original reference photo, the reference one that we were accessing. You can see that in the members area. 4K, no ads. That's only $6 US a month. You can tip in, tip out. That's hundreds of live videos. So the way I like to deal with this kind of scene is I still like to do my sky first. Here, obviously, we're nowhere near any kind of blue. We did the sky with kind of a creamy tone. That looks like it's got a bit of cat orange in it and stuff. I don't think I did a lot of pre-mixing on this painting, and that's another thing. When I do that, that's always in the members area. But if I don't do it, I'm talking about what I'm doing and the live version of this video. Yeah. So the challenge there, and oftentimes you can see that's got a little bit coral, and I'm trying to bring it back in line with something that's not overly, say, of a cherryish corally red, but I don't want it overly yellowy, orangey either. That was the sort of the brief on this one. I did end up calling it Golden Woods, but I didn't want it to be too yellow or too red. It actually, believe it or not, is really a sepia painting. I think it just has so much golden chroma that I didn't want to call it sepia this or that. But and I've been having a hankering to do more of those. I really love these scenes with the woods and the light done in the golds with the sepia. And it just simplifies things. Of course, you could do it with greens and all that. And I'm actually kind of been into a thing lately with the trees. You're going to see in a bunch of the things coming up. I've been into this 6x8. This is a 4x6, but yeah. Anyway, you can see what I do. Like the brilliant thing about having a nice sort of underpainting color, working sort of transparently over a nice color of your ground or support, is that you just can put strokes where they need to be, and you can leave a lot of the underpainting, especially in this kind of sepia approach. And so, as is my way after doing the sky, I like to come in there with the darkest darks, and in this case, it's pretty much black. I know I've added, knowing me, just knowing how I am, I put in some burn umber there. I like to cut the black a little bit. It's very cool. I mess with the darks in all kinds of subtle ways, but it doesn't really show. It shows up to me visually. I don't know if it shows up on the tube of view here. Anyway, this of course took on quite an abstract thing. So now I'll tell you the one thing I was thinking about. See these two trees in the middle there. That's pretty much our focal point. And I went dark there, but one of the things I thought might be neat would be to turn them into like a lighter tone, like a real ruddy, like sienna, dark sienna with lots of red in it, the thing is, like, there was a time when I would go in and do my underpainting, like you saw me do here, and then I would probably do five steps after that. And a lot of those paintings look very gauzy. You don't see a lot of individual brush strokes, and a lot of them are quite good. But more and more, I want to see that brushwork. I want to let the brushwork speak for itself, and I think. We can have a temptation just, talking about the troubles we run into as painters and artists. We can always have that temptation, be looking at the reference or the model if you're doing a life drawing or a plein air painting, and just think, oh man, I'm falling so short. I'm not making it. I'm crashing here. I'm burning here. And the fact of the matter is I think there's something to be said for making a good effort at doing something representationally honest. But just speaking for myself, I'm way more interested in these days, like simplification, abstraction, but not abstraction to the point of getting silly, But I don't mind pushing that abstraction too far, or farther and farther. And that's always been the thing, the abstraction. If you look at any of my paintings on this channel, going back to, I think there is a playlist for 2014. Funny enough, I just sold a painting from 2014, quite a nice little painting. And one of the, since we're just rambling along, and I thank you for joining me and watching me put this painting together too. I think it's pretty groovy. Uh, if you look at paintings I've done from back then, they still look like my work, but they were a lot more patchy, a lot more regular in the strokes. To me, they're more overworked, What I try to do now is just do the minimum that I can do. And I can always develop things further, and that is sometimes very desirable. If you look at some of the coastal scenes I was doing a year ago, it was really, some of those were 7, 8 hour videos that were sped up to 15 minutes for you there here in public, the public part of the channel. But the channel members, they get to watch that. Me basically lovingly, painstakingly lavish attention and brushwork upon smaller aspects of the landscape. I'm not that into that. Sometimes it's okay. What I do like is I like the effect I get, but I don't think artistically it's as valid. I don't feel like it's as groovy. Now, here's the subject of the painting, the light. That's always the subject in this kind of thing. And that's why I was thinking it would be great to start calling myself the painter of light. No, just kidding. Yeah, Thomas Kincaid. He trademarked that. I don't think that's quite fair, but whatever. Yeah, now that's taken. We are all painting light, though. That's what's funny, and that's one of the things too that you've heard from me on the channel before. About, like, I'm not painting in an impressionist manner here. I'm painting pretty much tonalist, and it's pretty. The tonalist would get pretty abstract sometimes, quite a bit. But it's still an impression of the scene, even though I'm not painting impressionism. It was always irked me how they snagged that appellation for their approach and the style. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think impressionism's groovy. It's really the style of the day. It really is. But my approach is definitely informed by, and let's face it. What does style mean? I have a lot of students ask me about that, and I don't actually worry about style. To be really frank with you, I just try and make it beautiful, expressive. I think it's more valuable to do it fairly quickly. There are times I spend maybe as much time messing around with that reference image as I might putting together a small painting like this. This is a very small painting, but that's the other thing, man. I think these other ones, to me, it's a totally valid painting. I don't call them studies. I just, maybe minis is appropriate. I'm really happy with the way this came out. Now, the thing is, the last thing I wanted to talk about was, like, in the reference image. So the challenge you might find too is, like, go in orangey, right, or yellowy, or reddy, like I was talking earlier about a cherry kind of thing. In one sec, you'll see me put in some real stronger reds and a few notes. Oh no, I did. I see them. It's up there, right close to where my brush is now. Yeah, putting in some good, strong reds. But reds, this painting wasn't about red. I just put in a few in, just for the fun of it. And, oh, yeah, getting to was, who cares what, I don't really think about style when I'm painting. I'm just trying to make something. And usually I'm thinking, like, okay, I just want to keep this simple. I really don't want to get into the expression you'll hear me use again and again is I don't want to get into the weeds. I don't want to get into the tiny, I don't want to get lost in the details. I just want impressions of details. Nice color, good composition, and make a nice feeling sort of statement. And that is it. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for listening to my rambling video today, and really appreciate you taking the time to check out my videos, my channel, and leave me a comment if you can, and support me financially if you can do that too. A lot of people have donated or bought the book, and I appreciate it. Anyway, until I come back with another video for your edification and enjoyment, do me a favor, do me a solid. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble, and God bless you and your family.